Where the hell was 10,000 BC set? And for that matter, what the hell was going on in this movie? I mean, yeah, sure, the premise was fine. The hell is that? It's a DVD. What is this? Mega Piranha? Let's watch. Mega Piranha. Well, I mean, like I've said in previous reviews, I enjoyed Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, and I enjoyed Mega Shark vs. Crocosaurus, but I fucking hated Mega Shark in Malibu because, I mean, for one thing, none of the characters in that movie were likable, the CGI was fucking terrible, and they tried to take it seriously, and in short, it fucking ruined the movie. This movie, if anything, is what Mega Shark in Malibu should have been. This movie is pretty fun. I mean, this image says it all. Look at this image. That says it all. That sets the tone for the entire bloody movie. This movie is just absolutely insane. But you know what? Let's get started on a couple of things. First off, I'm going to start off with the characters. Wow. Now this is an improvement. For one thing, these characters were actually likable. Like, you know, I actually gave a shit about these characters. You know, I actually would have cared if one of them died. Whereas, in, you know, a way bigger improvement over that of Mega Shark in Malibu, where I wouldn't give a shit. Let's start off with Paul Logan. He is awesome in this movie. I'm not joking. He is badass. He has this look on his face throughout the whole movie. He is totally fucking badass. He is so bloody hardcore. It's like, you know, he doesn't give a shit. And there's a scene, right, that shows how badass he is. A bunch of piranhas jump at him, and he just kicks them away. He's on his back, he's just kicking them away. He is awesome. He is probably one of the main reasons to watch this movie. He is hardcore. And at the same time, hilarious. There are some points where he overacts. Like, for example, there's a part where he's on a helicopter, he's controlling the helicopter, and he makes some of the dumbest faces ever. He's like, you know, he makes some of the most overacted faces ever. And there are many cases where he's just so hardcore, he's just overacting. It is brilliant. He is awesome. Being that this is an asylum movie, we're bound to have an 80s pop sensation. In this case, we have Tiffany. No idea who the fuck that is, but yeah, her performance in the movie. I'm assuming that she hasn't been in any other movies. I don't think she has been, but considering her performance, she actually didn't do that bad of a job, if I'm honest. Her performance was pretty standard, and in one or two places her performance went really bad. Like this is one scene where she went totally emotionless, where you think she's supposed to be really dramatic. It's where she's all like she's supposed to be like this. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna be able to. We're not gonna be able to stop them. We're not gonna be able to do this. You know, we're supposed to be like that, but instead she's like this. We're not gonna be able to stop them. It's not gonna work. What are we gonna do? My God. She was totally fucking emotionless in that scene. Every other time she was fine. Plus she's pretty babing, if I do say so myself. So, there you have another reason. Another character, I cannot mind who plays him, but there was a scientist character. He was a fat guy, right? That's the only thing I can really remember about him. All I remember is that he was totally fucking badass. You know, he was not as badass as Paul Logan, but he was still pretty fucking badass. Like, he'd be all like this: "We gotta stop the Piranha before they go upstream, otherwise we're all doomed." You know, he was awesome. Another main reason to watch that movie. The writers of this movie must have thought to themselves, alright, we have one badass character. The only way we can make this movie even more awesome is if we put another badass character in there. And they did it. There was another scientist as well, but he didn't really have a lot of dialogue. He didn't really do much. He just sort of ran around and followed people and said one or two things and just blurted out some bizarre technical blab or blab, I don't know. So he was alright, but there wasn't much to say about him, so he was just kind of in the background. Then of course there was this guy named Bob. That's it. His name's just Bob. Never find out anything else about him. I think he's like Secretary of State or something like that. And if I'm honest, he's probably my least favourite character because he doesn't really do much. He's on the phone to Paul Logan every once in a while throughout the movie. And he's alright, but the only thing that was really kind of interesting about him was every time he was on the phone to him, he always added, "Oh, and by the way," you know, just for extra dramatic effect, which was pretty cool, I thought. But other than that, there wasn't really much to say about him. The villain, Diaz. This guy, like, he overacts to ridiculous lengths. Like, for example, there's a part where he's being totally fucking sarcastic or whatever, and he's all like, you know, with that kind of voice. You know what I mean? It's just totally fucking bizarre. And it is really funny. And there's this part where he walks in a really bizarre manner. Almost like this. "Yo, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not gonna." I never quite understood why he walked like that. It was totally bizarre. And then when he starts yelling at people, he's like, "I'm not gonna have this!" You know, it's totally fucking insane. He's basically the comic relief of this movie. You know what I mean? And, you know, he was pretty funny. But now that I've discussed the characters, it's time to discuss the special effects. Oh my god. The CGI in this movie is horrible. I mean, there's this one shot, right, where you see the piranhas underwater, right, when a bunch of the guys are attacking the piranhas, and there's this shot where the piranhas are just swimming past the camera, and I'm not joking, it looks like a screensaver. It really does. It actually looked like a screensaver. It looked like an image that you could probably crop, you know, make into a little file, like a little video file, and then make it into a fucking screensaver. It really did look like a bloody screensaver. And it was just, oh, it looked horrible. Best things about the piranhas, though, were the scenes where they were attacking people, like where they would jump out of the water and attack people. Especially the giant piranhas. It was just so fucking funny. Because basically they would jump and land right on top of a person. And it's just so fucking funny. And there's parts where they jump out of the water, land on buildings, and they explode. What are these piranhas, fucking explosive or something? You know? And there's this one shot which made me piss myself, where you see the camera panning. It's obviously like a helicopter shot, you know, and you see the camera panning across several buildings, and a piranha is stuck right in the side of one of the buildings. It's just flapping like, "Ah, help me!" It's just brilliant. Yeah. The only real issue I had with the piranhas is that I wish they had more screen time. It's kind of like, you know, in Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus, you know, it's kind of like how you wish that the shark and the octopus had more screen time. Well, they had a similar issue to that in Mega Piranha, but a lot of the times when there wasn't any piranha action going on, there was a lot of other action, like, so, you know, there was a lot more action going on than there was in Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus. There is a bit of filler in this movie as well, but there's not as much filler as in Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that in a roundabout way, this movie is better than Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus. Although I wouldn't say it's as good as Mega Shark vs Crocosaurus. But another problem that, like, a thing that annoyed me about this movie was sometimes the editing really pissed me off. Like, for example, they did a lot of shots where the camera would sort of speed up and then cut to white, and then go into something else. And at first I didn't have a problem with that because I'd seen that in fucking things like CSI and other action movies. But this film just took it way too bloody far. Like, they did this quick, you know, movement of the camera thing. Like, you know, the camera would be moving at a regular pace and then zoom, and then speed up and then cut to white thing. They did that constantly and it got old fast. But yeah, I can't really say much else about Mega Piranha other than it is a pretty fun film. I mean, yeah, of course, it's, you know, it's a movie that of course is deliberately bad, you know, and of course it's a fun film. But this movie, I would say, is pretty fun. If you like Mega Shark vs. Crocosaurus or Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus, then you should like Mega Piranha. So, if you're into that sort of stuff, then I'd say check it out. I better go pick out another movie, shouldn't I? Let's go. Right. See what we've got going on here. Hello. What do I have here? Exit the dragon, enter the tiger. This ought to be interesting.